Keith and I have been super busy this week living life. We've been doing a lot with our grandchildren, and so we didn't get out and about to film anything as far as a travel video. As many of you might already know, I'm a certified life coach. So from time to time, I just think of things and I want to talk about it. And so I had recorded this previously and we've never uploaded it. So we're going to take this opportunity to share this with you today. The two sides of life. Which one are you on? Let's get into it. Welcome back to Life Lessons with Terri. Today we're going to talk about how there are two sides to life, and you can choose which one you want to be on. There's a positive side of life, and there's a negative side of life. Now, we've all been around people who are negative Nancys. They always have something negative to say, and we usually don't like to be around negative people because it just brings us down. So we can choose. Now, I know there's depression and I know there's all kinds of situation and circumstances, but we're not talking about that today. But if there's not extenuating circumstances, for the most part, we can choose to be positive. It may take some work on our part, but we can make that choice and we can work on being more positive in our life instead of being negative. For instance, there's love and there's hate. Both of those are a four-letter word, but love extends mercy, extends grace to people, where hate brings negative connotations always. So we can choose if we're going to love or if we're going to hate. Now, is it easy to love people who are maybe negative toward us or have a bad attitude toward us or whatever? No, it's not easy. And in my lifetime, I have had people treat me very badly and very much differently than other people in my same situation. And yet, I am to love them, and I am to forgive, and I am to move on. So it's not easy, but it can be done. Some other words: enemies has 7 letters, and so does friends. We all know about enemies. That's the negative part of life. But we also know that our enemies can eventually be our friends. One time when I was in high school, you know how it is in high school. There's all these things that happen and go on. But there was a girl who, just for I don't know what reason, she just started to be really mean to me and calling me names. And I've always been very short and stumpy legs, and she would call me names and treat me badly. And at first, I did it right back. I called her names. I was mean to her. And then I got convicted. I just felt like that's not what I'm to do. I am to love. And so one day in my prayer time, I just felt like the Lord was just guiding me to, no matter what she does, no matter what she says, love her. Show her kindness. Kill her with kindness. And that was hard. It was hard. But that's what I did. I was nice. I smiled. I was cordial when it wasn't reciprocated at all. And over time, she became my friend. And I had to be persistent, and I had to love when I didn't feel like it. love prevailed. And she became my friend just because I loved her. And it was hard. There's also a 5-letter word called lying. And there's a 5-letter word called truth. We all need to be truthful. And sometimes that's not always easy either. When you want to make excuses or this or that, you just want to tell a lie. But we need to choose the positive side of life, and that means being truthful. Another comparison of words is a 3-letter word, cry, and a 3-letter word, joy. Many times in life, things happen and we find ourselves crying over situations, over circumstances, and we need to learn to find the joy in the small things, because it's really the small things in life that are the big, most important things in life. Then there's 2 other words, the final words that we'll look at today. There's a 10-letter word called negativity, and there's another 10-letter word called positivity. And we all, I think, enjoy being around positive people. And so it's got to be an effort on our part, because our nature, our human sinful nature wants to be negative. We want to find the fault in things. You can't wait to get in the car after an event and then start picking it apart. Well, they should have done this and they could have done that and that was terrible. And let's not do that. Let's work. And it is work, because anytime we do any kind of self-improvement, it takes work on our part. You can pray all day, God, help me to be patient, help me to use my gifts, help me to this, help me to that. But it takes work on our part. God's just not going to zap us with these things. If we ask God for patience, He's going to give us a chance to use patience. So that's not a good prayer to pray. But many times in life, if we want our life to be better, if we want to change our situation, our circumstances, it takes work on our part. And to have a positive attitude, and I'm guilty of this, I still work on this, but it's something that we need to be conscious of, first of all. Okay, there's 2 sides of life. The positive side, the glass is half full, or the negative side, the glass is half empty, this is terrible. So we need to learn to recognize when we are being negative, and then stop, think about it, and think, okay, I don't want to be negative. What is positive in this situation that I can find? And once we practice that, we will become more positive in our thinking and positive in our life. And we all know people who are so positive and so upbeat, and we love to be around them because they're so inspiring. So that's what we want to work on. And I'm talking to myself here too, because I need to work on this as well. So let's all work on being more on the positive side of life rather than the negative, because there's always negative. I mean, you can find negative with anything, but that's not the goal here. The goal is we want to find positive things. Why? Because that's encouraging. We want to be encouragers to other people. And even if they've asked you to critique them or to, hey, listen to this and tell me how I can improve it, even in those situations, we always start out with encouragement and tell them the things they're doing great. And then you can look at the things of, okay, this is maybe something we can improve, work on, whatever. But let's all work on that, because this world is crazy. There are so many things going on in this world right now, and so many negative things that I've had a lot of people go off of Facebook because it was nothing but negative in their news feed. And people don't want to hear that. People want to be encouraged. So how can we encourage people today? So I'm going to leave you with that. Just think about the two sides of life. Which do you want to be on? And think of ways. Catch yourself being negative. And when you're negative, stop and think, oh, that was negative. How can I turn that around and make it positive? So, thanks for joining me today. Something I'll get on here every now and then and just talk about things that come to me. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Give us a big thumbs up. I'll see you next time on Retired and Loving It. If you'd like to see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen